What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made these. Beautiful, delicious, smoky, juicy, tender, plump, amazing meatloaf sausages. Coming up. This is some meat. Whoops. Pat it dry. And what I got here is a big chunk of lean brisket, as well as some cubes of some pork belly. 3 pounds of brisket, 2 pounds of pork belly. And that's because today we are making a meatloaf sausage, which is exactly what you think it is. I'm basically gonna make a normal meatloaf mix, case it up, and see how it comes out. And this is something I did about 10 years ago back at Friedman's, which was the first barbecue joint I worked at. And it wasn't really what I was looking for at the time. And that's because back then I was really trying to get that really snappy, classic, nice and plump link that Texas barbecue is known for. And the meatloaf sausage, understandably, is a bit softer. But as I grow as a pitmaster, I've definitely got the nice and plump sausage figured out, and I really do like different textures and fresh sausages, and not everything has to be super smoky and cured. But first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and cube all this meat up so it gets nice and cold really quickly and fits in our meat grinder. And between the lean brisket and this pork belly, we should have a really good fat ratio, which is always important in a sausage or a meatloaf. And I am pretty excited to give this a try because I do love the flavor of meatloaf, and I also really enjoy using alternative binders like the bull flour or rusk. But today we're going with some breadcrumbs, which should be very tasty. And just like that, 5 pounds of meat cubed up going into the freezer. And while we wait, let's go ahead and get everything else ready. To get things started off, we're gonna get our vegetables softened. Start, I'm going into a pan with a squeeze of some olive oil, followed by 1 small onion, 2 diced carrots, and our celery. And get that a-cooking. Also going with a big fat pinch of salt, and just cook these until they are nicely softened. And after cooking down for about 10 minutes, everything is looking absolutely perfect, nice and soft. Cook the water out, nothing's too brown or anything like that, but it is in fact softened up, which is good, because I don't want to have a hard piece of carrot in my sausage, which is a sentence I never thought I'd say. But now I'm gonna throw in our garlic right at the end, and let this cook for another minute or so, then set this aside to cool down. Spices for our meatloaf include some kosher salt, some black pepper, granulated garlic, some dry mustard, red chili flakes, and some paprika. Get that all nice and mixed up. And for our binder, some plain breadcrumbs, but I suppose you could use the Italian flavored kind, or panko if you got it, and get that all mixed up. Beautiful. As for our liquid component, this is some homemade pork stock that I made a couple weeks back, and I'm gonna add 3 eggs to it. Pop those yolks and get this all mixed up as well. That's weird looking. And now that the meat is nice and cold, through the grinder we go. Just gonna send it through once through the coarse die today. Beautiful grind. First thing going in is our spices and breadcrumbs. Give that a little mix, make sure everything is evenly dispersed. And then in with our now cooled off veg, and get that mixed in as well. Followed by our liquid, including our eggs, and get that all mixed up. God, this is cold. And lastly, our freshly chopped up parsley. And now I'm gonna mix this for probably a good 5 minutes until everything is coming together, and it's looking nice and tacky. And just like that, looking nice and sticky. Kinda looks like tartare with all the veg in there. Pretty cool. Going on with some natural hog casings today. I believe these are 28-32 mils. Ooh, short one. Tie it off. Snip the tip. And we case. Ooh, that looks cool. Give it a little twist. Loving all the interior garnish in there. But other than that, casing up pretty normally. Going for some pretty average sized weens today. Beautiful, looking nice and plump. So on with casing number 2. Snip tip. And just like that, all cased up, looking beautiful, no blowouts or anything like that. And I gotta say, they're looking quite festive with all the veg in there. So now you got a few options. You could try and vac seal these right now, at least the ones you're not gonna cook. But whenever you're vac sealing a fresh sausage like this, you run the risk of pulling all the meat out of the casings, which can be a big bummer. So you could freeze them and then vac seal them. Or you could do what we're gonna do today and throw these all on the pit, probably around 250, nice and smoky. Bring them up to about 155, 160 internal. Then I'll ice bath the ones I'm not gonna cook, seal those up, and pop them in the freezer, but definitely save a few for tasting. So let's go ahead and fire up the pit. New Year's, same old boot snake. And on the pit we go. Transferred these to some wire racks because I desperately need to clean my grates and I don't want these sausages getting too sooty. But just like that, they shall sit. Again, we're gonna be rocking around 250 or so, a little on the lower and slower side while this pit comes up so we get some good smoke flavor and some good color. And I'm leaving them all together because I don't want them to burst out if I snip them because we haven't dried the casings out overnight. And again, this is a fresh sausage, meaning there's no pink curing salt in it, so if you do this recipe, you definitely don't want to cold smoke it, but I suppose you could add the cure if you like. But as this pit comes up to temp, I think we should get plenty of smoke and color on there, and they should probably only take like an hour or two, so I will keep you posted. We're about an hour and a half into this smoke, and these bad boys are coming off the pit. Looking good, looking fully cooked, got some decent color on there. The ones up front got a little too hot, and a couple of them exploded, but I'm gonna drop these all into an ice bath now, which is gonna stop the cooking process. It's also gonna help shrink up the casing, so we get a nice snappy bite. And we'll just let them cool down and hang out in this water bath for, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. And just like that, out of the water bath. So now all we need to do is get these snipped apart. And so far, they're looking pretty good. Feeling a little soft, which is kind of to be expected with the breadcrumb binder, but I am a little worried if these are actually gonna cook up properly because the one that was closest to the fire just exploded. So not sure if that's because we have eggs and breadcrumbs in there, but I guess we're just gonna have to cook some off and see how they come out. So I'm gonna take a few of these, throw them back on the pit, which is now rocking about 275, 300. Crisp up these casings, cook them through, and we'll see how they come out. And just like that, after about 30 minutes off these guys cook, they did not explode. Looking nice and plump, feeling nice and snappy. Quite hot, although this is definitely a sausage you want to be careful of because they want to leak out and wrinkle. But I think we caught these just in time, so I'm going to let them cool down for a little bit. We'll slice in. All right, let's go ahead and slice into this plump little guy. And there it is, meatloaf in a casing. Definitely looking nice and juicy. You can see some veg in there. Might have made this one a little too fatty, or quite possibly it's the extra moisture from the veg, but then that looks pretty cool. And there it is, folks. It looks kind of weird. Smells really good though. Looking nice and juicy. Good color on there, and especially for how easy and quick of a cook this was. But I think it's time to finally taste the meatloaf sausage. Gotta say, it does seem pretty weird having chunks of carrot in your sausage. Not sure if you guys are gonna like me for this one, but let's see how it came out. Ooh, oh, that is good. Now that is certainly a unique sausage. You know, it is very soft because of the breadcrumbs in there, because, you know, meatloaf is pretty soft anyway. But the casing is nice and snappy, the veg is nice and soft, and the flavor is fantastic. It's like a whole meal in a casing. You got your veg, you got your meat, nice and salty. That is pretty tasty stuff. But I also got some Leroy Lewis beet barbecue sauce here because you always put ketchup or barbecue sauce on top of a meatloaf anyway, so perfect pairing. Oh yeah, now it tastes like meatloaf. It's a very pleasant, just very unoffensive sausage, you know what I mean? It kind of tastes like a home-cooked meal, just in a bite. And I do love the way you can see like the parsley and the veg in there. Good amount of smoke flavor, but definitely not overpowering, which is something I always aim for. And you can just dip in some barbecue sauce and eat it like a carrot. That is good. It is really just unbelievably juicy. Like, look at all that moisture in there. Very tasty stuff. And it's cool to know you can just put cooked veggies in a sausage and have it work out all right. Ladies,
yes.
Would you like to try some meatloaf sausage?
Meatloaf sauce.
It's finally not a sandwich.
Meatloaf again?
Yeah. Every time. It's January.
All right, no, I'm excited.
I always make meatloaf.
Is that a
in
big old
January.
carrot in here?
Yep, so I literally just made a meatloaf and cased it up.
Is this like barbecue sauce?
Yeah, I highly recommend it with barbecue sauce.
Oh, yeah. Again, I think I've said this before. It's almost like you're being healthy.
Yeah, right?
I was going to
Big
say
chunks
that
of
with the
carrots.
carrots. Yeah.
New year, new me.
There's vegetables.
Exactly. I'm still really can't get over the look of carrots in a sausage. That's just bizarre.
I love it.
I
It looks seasonal.
Festive.
Yeah, festive. Your kids will love it.
Yeah. It is nice and soft, though.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
not as dense as the meatloaf sandwich.
Yeah.
That thing was like 10 pounds.
Yeah, that was hefty.
Yeah, I was gonna say it definitely is like light. It doesn't feel like, you know, meatloaf can, like she said, be dense.
Yeah.
What herbs do you
This
have?
is
Because I
like-
just got a
no.
good herby piece.
Just parsley is the only
Just
herb.
parsley?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
There's carrots and onions and celery, all cooked down.
Hitting the spot.
Beautiful.
It's sweater weather.
It is
That's what about
We got meatloaf sausage.
meatloaf
This whole thing.
sausage. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like
Idea.
it's a crowd pleaser too.
Meatloaf summer sausage.
Ooh, I really thought you were gonna say meatloaf sausage sandwich for a minute there.
No, a summer
Put it in a hot
sausage.
dog
I can
bun.
see it
Get
being
some
a
bread.
I don't know how some summer sausages are made, but I feel like it would work well.
Maybe
right?
we'll have to give it a try. Maybe this summer.
Got a good snap.
Juicy.
Good job.
I like the
This is the
flavor.
best dinner I've had
One
today.
more.
Yeah, this is your third dinner. I will say, I do love a quick, simple sausage recipe like this, you know? Nothing too fancy, no fancy techniques, and other than sweating down the veg, pretty straightforward. And I started this video at 4, it is now 8, which is probably a new record for fastest time it takes to make a barbecue YouTube video, because this stuff takes forever. But either way, pretty tasty stuff. Oh, that was so juicy. But before I eat a few more of these, I think it's time for the official taste test. All right, y'all, and that is it. That is how to make some absolutely fantastic smoky meatloaf sausage. I highly recommend you giving this one a try if you're in the sausage making world. It's a very unique sausage, and I really like the texture of those breadcrumbs in there. Definitely something I'm going to play around with. But also, this is a great sausage for a cold winter's weeknight dinner, you know what I mean? So pull one out of the fridge, toss it on the grill or something like that. It's very homey, and definitely something I'll be enjoying over the next couple of weeks. But all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Let YouTube know by dropping a like on this video. If you do give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. I'd love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Patreon members. Thank you for supporting Team Chud and allowing me to keep making all these videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace!